Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to make a sensory bottle. This can be done with your child if they're a little older, or if they're an infant or a young toddler, you can make it for them. All you need is a plastic bottle, a water bottle, or some other plastic bottle, a lid, which I'm searching for mine, but I will find it, some water, some oil, and some objects that don't dissolve in water. For example, I have some glitter here. I have a few sequins. These can be picked up from a variety of places. I got these from the dollar store. I also have a few little plastic jacks. Um, these are great if you're trying to help your child with color recognition. Can you find the red jack in the bottle? I've got a little wooden spool, and I'm going to try this little baby, but let me see. No, I don't think she'll fit, so that won't be a good choice. I have a cork, and I have a glass bead. It doesn't really matter what you put in it. These are very calming. Some people find that strange that these would be so calming, but children really do, and a lot of adults do too. So it can be called a calming bottle or a sensory bottle. It also makes a little bit of noise, which appeals to some children. I have some food coloring. This is certainly optional. So your first step is to pour in some water. I put it in a small jug, which would allow a child to do it. Of course, I have my tray, so my child knows that these materials stay on the tray. And I am going to add a little food coloring. I'm going to add yellow. I don't want to make it too dark because I'm going to add some glitter to mine. So I'm going to let my child squeeze a few drops of yellow food coloring, which is great for fine motor, that squeezing. And then I'm going to ask them if they want to add a little glitter. So this is a little tricky, the kind I have. If I was in my own home, I think I would put some on a spoon for them if they were doing this themselves. So now I have some yellow and some glitter. Now I'm going to take some oil. Any kind of oil will do. And I'm going to open it because this one is not open. And I'm going to pour in some oil into my water and glitter. And I'm going to add a different food coloring, and I actually don't know what will happen with this, so I'm going to let my child experiment. I'm not going to leave all the colors for them. I probably just offer them two, and you can already see that my oil and water is separating. So now I'm going to add a couple of drops of red. And actually, my red is floating on top. Oh, now it's sinking. Children will love to see this happening. And now I'm going to add a few little items. Like I say, I'm going to add my glass bead. It's sunk, kerplunk. This is also great for developing language if your child's making this with you. Talk about float and sink. So now I'm going to add a little wooden spool. Oh, it didn't sink, it floated. And now I'm going to add some sequins. So I'm adding some sequins in, and they're floating too. And now I'm going to add a few little plastic jacks. Oh, I added an orange one, it's floating too. Oh, I'm adding a red one, and I'm adding a green one. And now I'm adding a little cork that I found. Just little items around your house. And now I'm going to seal this. You want to make sure this is on tight, so I would probably personally hot glue gun this. Of course, your child can't help with that. And a baby, of course. You're just making this with them. But now you can see the red and yellow mixing, and I end up with orange. And if your child's that little bit older than you've asked them, remind them, oh, we added red and yellow, but now we have orange. Children can roll these on the floor. They can squeeze them. they can look for the objects. Can you see the green jack? Oh, can you see the spool? Oh, I see some sequins. And now my child might just decide to watch this. And let's see what's going to happen. So besides being a sensory bottle, this is also a STEM project because I've mixed two ingredients, and when I shake it, something happens. It mixes together, and the colors mix together. But now let's see what happens if I just watch it. Some of the objects are moving and some of them aren't. The glitter is moving very slowly. It's probably hard to see on the screen. And actually, my bottom of my bottle is becoming a little darker, and the lighter color is coming to the top. And these are all things that you want to observe and note with your child. So you're going to say, what are you noticing? And this is what I'm noticing. So besides an extension of language, it's also teaching your child to be observant and patient. Of course, at the beginning, probably the most exciting thing will just be to roll this around and to look at it because they're watching what's happening. But it's really good to start to help your child make observations. Like I say, we've mixed two colors, red and yellow, and now we had orange. Oh, but now it looks as if the orange is getting darker and sinking to the bottom. And as you extend this learning, your child will become more and more observant. And children often will sit with these things for a long time. They call them a calming bottle because often children just find looking at something like that, gradually changing colors, moving very slowly, is a very calming activity. And you can make several of these. You could make them in different colors. You could put a flashlight on them and let them see what that changes. Like I say, this is something that interests children really from probably 7 or 8 months because they can roll it on the floor. It makes a nice crinkly noise to maybe up into even school-age children will often enjoy watching these. First of all, creating them, and secondly, watching them. If my child was older, I might add a third substance that would have a different density. And there's another word to extend language. And so that I would have 3 layers instead of the 2. But you can see as we're observing it, the colors are changing. I hope you try this. It's a very easy, inexpensive item to make for your child. And actually, we bought one of these for our center, and it cost about $50 because it was a guessing game. So they had a list of items. Can you find the jack? Can you find the cork? But there again, you could extend this by doing that and then drawing some pictures of the objects you've put in there or the colors and saying, can you find something red? And then every time they did, they'd make a check mark. Can you find something orange? Lots and lots of opportunities with this activity. Bye, everyone.